Very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha Television. Well, wishing you all a very happy Republic Day. Well, in about an hour or so, the main function will begin at Rajpath in the national capital, where President Pranab Mukherjee will take the salute for the parade. Well, we'll get you all the updates from there. But let's first take a look at this morning's top stories in the headlines. Nation celebrates the 68th Republic Day today. Abu Dhabi Crown Prince chief guest at Rajpath ceremony. Security beefed up across Delhi. President Pranab Mukherjee backs demonetization, cautions against frequent disruptions in Parliament and state assemblies in the Republic Day Eve address. India and UAE ink a strategic partnership accord and 13 other pacts. Prime Minister Modi says cooperation poised for major takeoff. Election Commission asks RBI to enhance weekly withdrawal limit for candidates contesting polls to 2 lakh rupees. Says they are struggling to meet poll expenses. And US President Donald Trump orders wall to be built on Mexico border, also signs action to strip funds from cities that are sanctuaries for undocumented immigrants. Well, the nation celebrates its 68th Republic Day today. Well, the main event will be held at the Rajpath in the national capital, where the President and other dignitaries will witness the Republic Day parade. Well, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, is the chief guest for the ceremony. Well, the parade ceremony will commence at the Amar Jawan Jyoti at India Gate, where the Prime Minister will lead the nation in paying homage to the martyrs by laying a wreath. Well, as per tradition, after unfurling the national flag, the national anthem will be played with a 21-gun salute. The parade will then commence and the President will take the salute. The highlight of this year's parade will be a 149-member UAE Presidential Guard, the Air Force, the Navy and the Army contingent led by UAE band consisting of 35 musicians marching on Rajpath. Now, another first this year will be the contingent of the National Security Guard, popularly known as the Black Cat Commandos, who will take part in the march past. Well, tableau from 17 states and 6 ministries showcasing varied themes will be another highlight of the parade. And there is a massive security in Delhi and all over the country for the Republic Day. Well, the national capital has been brought under ground-to-air security cover with thousands of armed personnel keeping a tight vigil. Well, the entire central and New Delhi region has nearly 50,000 security personnel drawn from Delhi police and central security forces guarding every nook and cranny. Well, CCTV cameras have also been installed and 8 control rooms have been set up to monitor the feed from the cameras. Now, various security layers have been put in place and Delhi police personnel along with paramilitary and NSG commandos have been deployed. Security has also been beefed up at the railways as well as the metro stations, while a vigil is being maintained along the Uttar Pradesh-Delhi border. Well, there is a strict vigil in all the state capital and border areas as well. And President Pranab Mukherjee addressed the nation on the eve of the 68th Republic Day. Well, he spoke on a range of issues including demonetization, women's safety and government policies. Now, President Mukherjee said that although demonetization brought a temporary slowdown in the economy, more cashless transactions will improve transparency in the system. The President asserted that country's strength lies in its pluralism and diversity and that India has traditionally celebrated the argumentative Indian, not the intolerant Indian. President Mukherjee also stressed on the need to work harder for the safety and security of women and children.
Demonetization, while immobilizing black money and fighting corruption, may have led to temporary slowdown of economic activity. As more and more transactions become cashless, it will improve the transparency of the economy. Demonetization, while immobilizing black money and fighting corruption, may have led to temporary slowdown of economic activity. As more and more transactions become cashless, it will improve the transparency of the economy. The Digital India program is creating a knowledge economy through universal provision of digital infrastructures and platforms for cashless economic transactions. Our tradition has always celebrated the argumentative Indian, not the intolerant Indian. Multiple views, thoughts and philosophies have competed with each other peacefully for centuries in our country. A wise and discerning mind is necessary for democracy to flourish. More than the unison of ideas, a healthy democracy calls for conformity to the values of tolerance, patience and respect for others. Our legislatures lose sessions to disruptions when they should be debating and legislating on issues of importance. Collective efforts must be made to bring the focus back to debate, discussion and decision making. We have to work harder to provide safety and security to our women and children. Women must be able to lead their lives with honor and dignity. Children must be able to enjoy their childhood to the fullest.
The government on Wednesday announced the highest civilian awards, Padma Awards, to citizens in recognition of their distinguished contribution in various spheres, while the Padma Shri has been conferred to 91-year-old Dr. Bhakti Yadav, popularly known as Dr. Dadi from Indore, who is the first woman to hold MBBS degree from the city and has been treating patients for free. Also, captain of Indian cricket team of blind Shekhar Naik has been awarded the Padma Shri. Now, Naik had led the Indian cricket team of blind to victory in the first T20 World Cup in 2012 and ODI World Cup in 2014. Well, Deepa Karmakar, now popularly known as the Pradunova Princess from Tripura, who finished fourth in the artistic gymnastics at Rio Olympics last year, has also been awarded the Padma Shri. Now, Paralympics Mariappan Thangavelu, who won gold in Rio 2016 in the men's high jump T42 category, will also receive the Padma Shri honour. Now, Karnataka's Sukri Bomagoda, also known as the Nightingale of Halaki, has been named for Padma Shri for performing tribal folk music for 58 years. While in the Padma Vibhushan category, political stalwarts Murli Manohar Joshi, Sharad Pawar and former Lok Sabha Speaker P.S. Sangma, cricketer Virat Kohli, Olympian Sakshi Malik and singer K.J. Yesudas are among the 89 people who have been selected for this year's Padma Awards. Now, country's highest civilian honour, Bharat Ratna, will not be conferred on anybody this year. On to some other news now. Well, India and the UAE inked agreements in various fields, including one on allowing the Gulf nation to fill the country's strategic storage facility in South India, while calling the energy partnership an important bridge in the bilateral linkages. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that it contributes to India's energy security. Now, both the nations also decided to elevate the bilateral relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership.
India and the UAE signed a slew of agreements signifying the progress in bilateral relations. Highlighting strategic importance of the UAE, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the nation an important partner in India's growth story and a close friend.
Security and defense cooperation have added growing new dimensions to our relationship. We have agreed to expand our useful cooperation in the field of defense to new areas, including in the maritime domain.
The agreements are in a diverse field ranging from defense, maritime transport to cyberspace and social spheres. Chief among these are the comprehensive strategic partnership between India and the UAE. MOUs between the Defence Ministries, cooperation in combating human trafficking, partnerships in the field of small and medium enterprises, agriculture, oil storage and management, among others.
Our convergence can help stabilize the region, and our economic partnership can be a source of regional and global prosperity. We exchange views on developments in West Asia and the Gulf, where both countries have a shared interest in peace and stability.
In his speech, the Prime Minister highlighted the shared cultural history of the two countries. Scores of Indian citizens also live in the UAE. In August 2015, UAE had agreed to increase its investments in India to $75 billion, including through a dedicated infrastructure fund. The two countries had also agreed to raise bilateral trade by 60% by 2020. India is hosting Abu Dhabi's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan as a special guest for the Republic Day celebrations on Thursday. Media reports said a unit of the UAE Armed Forces, including Army, Navy, Air Force and the Presidential Guard, will also be marching with their Indian counterparts on the 26th of January parade. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, the visiting Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan called on President Pranab Mukherjee at the Rajpath Bhavan, while both the leaders were accompanied by delegates as they sat and held bilateral talks. The two leaders also discussed ways of boosting ties of friendship and cooperation and exchanged views on latest regional and global developments of mutual interest. While President Mukherjee hoped that the visit would contribute towards a further enhancement of ties of friendship and cooperation between the two nations, the visiting dignitary thanked the President for inviting him to participate in India's Republic Day celebrations, saying that this kind of invitation underpins depth of Indo-UAE ties. Meanwhile, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari also met the visiting Crown Prince. The two leaders discussed the existing cooperation between the two countries in all spheres, as well as regional and international issues of mutual interests. On to some other news now. While Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted people on the National Voters' Day on Wednesday, while calling elections a celebration of democracy, the Prime Minister urged every eligible voter to exercise their franchise. He also called upon the youth to register as voters when they turn 18. Well, in a series of tweets, Prime Minister Modi greeted the Election Commission and saluted their important role in Indian democracy. Well, President Pranab Mukherjee also spoke about the significance of National Electoral Day. He called the Election Commission India's first instrument of governance. He also congratulated the Election Commissioners of India for their contribution in strengthening the country's most important democratic process.
This is the first instrument of governance. After 190 years of the colonial rule, because all the laws were enacted under the authority of the British government, people of India had hardly any say. Therefore, I do feel it is significant that on 25th January we celebrate the Voters' Day.
Well, we are slipping into a very short break here, but before that, we'll leave you with the visuals of key installations in the country that have been lit up for the Republic Day today. Do stay with us.
Weather forecasting is a non-linear process, so therefore it cannot be solved by any exact method. We have to go by the numerical solution of the set of mathematical equations which govern the physics of formation of the cyclones. compare to 1999 when 10,000 people died because of the Odisha super cyclone, with a similar cyclone of Cyclone Phylane on 12 October 2013 which caused Gopalpur, only about 20 people died. If you compare, actually there has been a paradigm shift with respect to all approaches of the cyclone warning system.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra, Head of Cyclone Division, IMD, only on Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back after the break. Now, the Election Commission has requested the Reserve Bank of India to enhance the weekly cash withdrawal limit of candidates contesting polls in 5 states. Well, the Election Commission had asked the RBI to increase the cash limit to 2 lakh rupees from the 24,000 rupees imposed post demonetization, as they would find it difficult to meet their campaign expenditure. Well, the Commission said that the returning office of the constituency will issue certificate that the person is a candidate in fray, and he or she may be allowed to withdraw 2 lakh rupees cash per week from the bank account opened specially to meet electioneering expenses. The EC said that the facility can be extended till 11th of March, which is the day of counting. Now, candidates are bound to open an election account for meeting poll-related expenditure, which is monitored by the Election Commission. Well, this came after the poll body was apprised about the problems faced by the candidates due to the imposition of limits of cash withdrawal from banks post demonetization of high-value currency notes. Now, currently, a person can withdraw cash up to 10,000 rupees in a day from the ATMs. However, they cannot withdraw more than 24,000 rupees in a week from the banks as well as ATMs. News from Uttar Pradesh now. Well, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav on Wednesday sought the support of people in returning back to power. Now, while addressing a rally in Lakhimpur district, he said that the people should back them as the second innings in the power will ensure the good work done in the first stint is taken forward. But the Samajwadi Party leader warned the people against the BJP and the hopes that it generates. He also asked the people to go through the party manifesto and said that if voted to power again, 1,000 rupees per family will be issued to 1 crore people.
55 लाख महिलाओं को दे रहे समाजवादी पेंशन आने वाले समय में सरकार बनेगी एक भी गरीब महिला नहीं छूट पाएगी जिसको समाजवादी पेंशन से ना रोके और साथ ही साथ ये फैसला किया है कि पेंशन पाने वाले लोग हैं और उत्तर प्रदेश में 1 करोड़ लोगों को 1,000 की पेंशन देने का काम समाजवादी पार्टी करेगी सरकार बनने के बाद करेगी.
News from poll-bound Punjab now, and the Congress party there has expelled its 7 rebel candidates permanently for refusing to withdraw from the poll race even after they were warned by the state party president Amrinder Singh. Well, expelled members include Ashok Sharma, Gurbinder Singh Atwal, Jagmeet Singh Sahota, Hemraj Agarwal, Manjeet Singh Maan, Amarjeet Singh and Rajinder Deepa. Now, according to late-night statement by the party, now these 7 members have been expelled permanently for indulging in anti-party activities, and they will not be taken back into the party's fold under any circumstances. And the Congress party has complained to the Election Commission against the BJP's Uttar Pradesh unit chief Keshav Prasad Maurya. Well, the complaint is for allegedly raking up the contentious Ram temple issue during election campaign, despite the Supreme Court order not to seek votes in the name of religion. Well, the party has sought exemplary punishment and also a derecognition of the BJP. Well, the Congress Secretary, Legal and Human Rights Department, K.C. Mittal, in a letter to the Election Commissioner, also demanded that BJP be derecognized and its lotus symbol be withdrawn. Remember, Maurya again raked up the issue of Ram temple ahead of the first phase of Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections, allegedly saying that a grand temple will be built in Ayodhya if BJP secures an outright majority. Let's get to some other news now. Well, securities market regulator Sebi has barred Vijay Mallya and 6 former officials of his company from securities market in a case related to illegal fund diversions. Now, Mallya has also been restrained from holding any directorship in any of the listed company. Now, Sebi has also asked the United Spirits Limited to provide details about steps being taken to recover the dividend funds. Well, in a 32-page letter against Malia, Sebi has said that the alleged prima facie violations observed in the case are serious and have larger implications on the safety and integrity of the securities market. Well, an investigation is also going on into the role of auditors as well as the change of control at the United Spirits Limited. Well, news from Jammu and Kashmir now. An army officer and 4 members of a family were killed in avalanches in Ganderbal and Bandipora districts of Kashmir. Well, the avalanche struck at Badugram village in Tulel area of Gurez in the wee hours today and buried the house of Mehrajuddin Lone. Now, according to officials, the house collapsed under the debris of the avalanche, resulting in the death of Lone, his wife, son as well as daughter. Now, Lone's second son was however rescued by the authorities and he has been admitted to a hospital. Meanwhile, in a separate incident, an avalanche hit an army camp in Sonamarg in central Kashmir's Ganderbal district, resulting in the death of Major Amit Sagar of a high-altitude warfare school. Now, the authorities in Kashmir have issued an avalanche warning for higher reaches of the valley following a fresh snowfall yesterday, and it has advised people to stay away from the mountains and foothills. Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti has directed officials to remain alert and provide all help and assistance to affected people in avalanches and house collapse incidents across the state due to heavy snowfall. While expressing grief over the loss of lives, she also asked the administration to ensure on-time clearance of snow and ensure availability of other services to the common man. And we slip into a very short break here, but before that, well, the iconic Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, is lit up in the Indian tricolour to celebrate India's 68th Republic Day, showcasing strong cultural and trade bonds between India and the UAE. Well, the building is named in honour of the ruler of Abu Dhabi and the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, who's the chief guest at the Republic Day parade. Do stay with us.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Pipirava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. Let's get you some international news now. Well, US President Donald Trump on Wednesday has acted on 2 of his main electoral promises, building a border wall and speeding the deportation of undocumented immigrants. Well, Trump issued an executive order for an impassable physical barrier to be built along the US border with Mexico. The US president also signed an action to strip funds from US cities that are sanctuaries for immigrants. Well, he spoke of a crisis on the southern US border as he signed the directive during a ceremony at the Department of Homeland Security on Wednesday. But Congress would have to approve the funding for the wall, which is estimated to cost billions of dollars. Now, Trump has said that Mexico would reimburse the US for the wall. Meanwhile, Mexican authorities have hit out at Donald Trump. They have demanded that President Enrique Pena Nieto call off his trip to Washington later this month. Well, the Mexican Senate president has also rejected payment of a Trump border wall.
We're in the middle of a crisis on our southern border. The unprecedented surge of illegal migrants from Central America is harming both Mexico and the United States, and I believe the steps we will take, starting right now, will improve the safety in both of our countries. Going to be very, very good for Mexico. Beginning today, the United States of America gets back control of its borders, gets back its borders.
And the British government will introduce a legislation today formally authorizing Brexit negotiations. Well, this comes after the country's Supreme Court ruled that it cannot invoke Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty without parliamentary approval. Well, the bill will face amendments in both houses of parliament, but it is likely to be passed within 2 weeks, enabling Prime Minister Theresa May to trigger Article 50 before the end of March as planned. Well, Brexit Secretary Davis has said that the legislation would be as straightforward as possible, but would be drafted in a way that substantive amendments can be done. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court in London decided by an 8-3 majority that the Parliament must decide whether the government can invoke Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, triggering the 2-year process of leaving the EU. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Theresa May has announced that the government will also set out its Brexit plans in a formal policy document before MPs actually vote on Brexit. On to some sports news now, and Usain Bolt has lost one of his 9 Olympic gold medals after Jamaican teammate Nesta Carter was found guilty of doping at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Now, Carter was found to have taken a prohibited substance. The Jamaican team now must return their medals. Now, Trinidad and Tobago will be promoted to gold and Japan will move to silver, and fourth-placed Brazil now will be awarded the bronze medal. Now, these standings are subject to any further results from the IOC anti-doping retesting program. And on to some tennis news. So, well, men's and women's singles semi-final lineup at the Australian Open is now decided. Now, Serena Williams is on course to her 23rd Grand Slam title with a chance of playing her elder sister for the title. And on the men's side, Roger Federer will have a tough fight in compatriot Stan Wawrinka, while Rafael Nadal will play Grigor Dimitrov.
Serena Williams remained on course for her 23rd Grand Slam title, quelling the challenge of Britain Johanna Konta 6-2, 6-3 to reach the semi-finals of the Australian Open. This is the 8th time she has reached the semi-final at Melbourne. The 35-year-old American served up 10 aces and thumped 25 winners over 75 minutes on the Rod Laver Arena. 9-seed Konta stood no chance against Serena as the latter powered her way through. Konta only managed a single break in the second set. Williams also was not at her accurate best and did get furious about it, but she channeled the anger to overcome 25-year-old Konta and reach her 34th Grand Slam semi-final without having given up a set in 5 matches. If Williams wins her 7th Melbourne Park title on Saturday, it would assure her of a return to world number 1 to replace ousted champion Angelique Kerber. Williams will now face 34-year-old Lucic Baroni 18 years after their last meeting in 1998. The Croatian has had a fairy tale run so far, entering the semi-final with a 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 victory over 5th seed Karolina Pliskova. Lucic Baroni's only other Grand Slam semi-final was against Steffi Graf at Wimbledon in 1999. In the men's singles, Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov dismantled 11th seed David Goffin 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 in the quarterfinal to advance to his 2nd Grand Slam semi-final. Goffin saved 2 match points, trailing 5-3 in the 3rd set, but Dimitrov was able to serve out in the next game and clinch the win in 2 hours, 12 minutes when he blasted a backhand winner down the line. The 25-year-old Bulgarian, whose previous Grand Slam semi-final was at Wimbledon in 2014, will meet Rafael Nadal in the last 4. Nadal won his quarter-final match in straight sets, beating 3rd seed Canadian Milos Raonic 6-4, 7-6, 6-4. The victory sends the 14-time Grand Slam champion to the semi-final at Melbourne Park for the 5th time, while Raonic fell a match short of matching his semi-final run 12 months ago. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
That's it in this edition of news. Thanks for watching.